Ben Orloff joins us on the stove, entering season number 7 at the helm. Ben, good morning.
Morning. Thanks for having me.
You know, there's so many schools on the West Coast that folks out here in the East Coast don't pay as much attention to. We know about USC and their pedigree. We know about what Fullerton has done. You've built a monster of a program at Irvine. So first of all, congratulations for that. And secondly, talk about your team. Give us a scouting report for this year.
Yeah, thanks for saying that. You know, we've been good for a while and good before I got here. We're off to a really nice start this year. We're 9-3. We've really challenged ourselves with a tough non-conference slate before we start conference this weekend. We were in Arizona week 1 against Nebraska, New Mexico, and Vanderbilt. Then we went to Texas Tech week 2, and Louisiana came here week 3. And so it's been a really good start. We got 20 new players on this year's roster coming off a regional final last year. And so we're really excited about the start and looking forward to a conference beginning this weekend.
I tell you, anybody who spent time in Irvine, whew, that's a beautiful place, man. That's a beautiful place. I'm wondering, you know, you're down there in Southern California. What's your reach recruiting-wise? You try to stay in that Southern California hub? Or no need to go national? Or you combine both? Where are most of your players coming from?
Yeah, I mean, we're mostly in-state. A large part of that is just the cost of school. We're triple tuition to an out-of-state kid. But the amount of good players around us, we're an hour south of L.A., an hour north of San Diego, and so within an hour, we've got a lot of really good players. We found some success in Northern California, and so we're trying to do as good a job as we can in the state.
And you got one of the best junior college leagues in the area as well. Do you tap into the JC at all?
Yeah, we love the junior college player. One of our former alums pitched in the big leagues with the Marlins, Calvin Fauché, a Southwestern junior college guy. We're starting a handful of junior college position players right now, and so that junior college player has been really good for us.
You know, among the success that you've had there, and I know that UCLA gets a lot more run in Southern California than you do, but you guys have beaten them up pretty good the last few years. Is it 7 straight against the Bruins?
Yeah, it's 7 straight.
Okay, I know you're not going to make a big deal about it. Hey, look, I think it's great because, look, I equate.
He went to SC, though. So,
but yeah, I kind of like that a lot myself. But I equate what you guys are doing there to what St. Mary's College does in men's college basketball in a different conference, right? Because you're the team. They're there with Cal and Stanford. Everybody talks about Cal and State. Everybody talks about USC, UCLA. Irvine's been the better program for a long time. I would imagine that's a point of pride. How big is that in your recruiting pitch when you're talking to kids, Ben?
Yeah, it's big. I mean, I think just in terms of we've been really good as a program. We've got really talented players. You know, I don't think we get maybe the national recognition because we're not in one of these Power 4 leagues. But in terms of baseball, we've been as good as almost anybody in terms of winning, moving guys on. We had 4 position players drafted in the top 9 rounds last year. And so that's something we take a lot of pride in, and we challenge ourselves by trying to play some of the best programs in the country because we believe when we play well that, you know, we can win and be up there with anybody.
And Ben, I would think that a lot of folks are coming with the NIL money now and opportunities to cherry pick some of your players. Have you seen that happening? You had to fight that off, or your program's stable enough?
Yeah, it's part of it, you know, and we're doing what we can for as many as we can. But kind of like what you said earlier, Harold, I mean, it's UC Irvine, it's Southern California. Our players live in Newport Beach. You know, outside of today where we're going to get some weather, it's 70 all the time. And so it's a really great place to be. And kids can get a great degree. They can win. They can move on. They live in Newport, and so there's a lot of really good things about this place.
I mean, not bad. Life is good, man. Hey, Coach Orloff, I want to ask you about one of your players in particular, and there was an article not long ago on Will Bermudez. This kid has been through a lot, and from our reports, he's what you want as a player, hustles, plays the game the right way. Talk about his background and who he is for our audience.
Yeah, Will's a great kid, and there was a great article in the Orange County Register a couple days ago. He's a 5th-year senior. He came to us from Mount Sac Junior College, was committed to go to Air Force out of high school, gotten a traumatic head injury, and he's been a huge inspiration for us. When we brought him in, the courage and toughness was like exactly what we needed in our program. At junior college at Mount Sac, he had more hit by pitch than strikeouts. The style of his play is infectious. he makes us better. And bringing him in is one of the best things that's happened to our program here recently.
Boy, it's such a great, inspiring story. He has epilepsy. You mentioned he suffered a brain injury not too long ago in a collision, and he has overcome all that. And those are the kind of stories that people like to hear about. Makes you feel good about yourself.
No
about
doubt
the
about
kid
it.
For sure.
No doubt. I got to ask you about your Super Scout. He's known as Mickey Scales in Little Big League, but we know him as Tony Todd. Tony's the biggest cheerleader you have, man. How has he become part of your program?
Yeah, Tony's on the payroll. Tony was neighbors with the kid Thomas McCaffrey that was our starting catcher for the last 4 years, and Tony would rarely miss a game home, on the road. He's riding the bus with us in Tulane. He's riding the bus in Oregon State. We're letting him talk to the team before the game. Tony's the man. He loves you all. But, yeah, he's been a great supporter of our program.
So do we ask Tony for gear, or can you make that happen for us? Because Harold needs a school in your conference to back. You guys don't play against Oregon, so he's fine backing the Anteaters.
Yeah, we get him some gear, or give some of those leftovers that we've given Tony.
Hey, I want to ask you about this too, Coach, because Mamadou Ndiaye was at Dodger camp recently, and there's video of Dave Roberts working with Mamadou on the rubber. He played basketball at UC Irvine, for those that haven't heard of Mamadou. Was there ever a moment where you thought about maybe this kind of relationship with him? Mamadou was a multi-sport guy.
Hey, Mamadou threw out the first pitch here one year. He did good in hoops. Our hoops team's having another really good year. Hey, in this age of analytics, there's big-time extension and release height on that fastball. But I think Mamadou was playing the right sport.
Yeah, I love that. Hey, real quick, people do not know, a lot of folks, like Matt said, out east, about UC Cal Irvine, so about University of Cal Irvine. Tell us a little bit about the campus, the school, the different sports. Educationally, it's one of the top education schools out there on the West Coast. Tell us a little about the university.
Yeah, you said it. I mean, we're right in the heart of Orange County. I think the last couple of years, it's been the third most applied to school in the country. Our freshmen live right behind the right field fence. The non-freshmen live in Newport Beach. The sports here have been really good. Basketball is in the midst of a really good season. They've got 2 games left in the regular season before they go to Vegas for the conference tournament. We don't have football here, and so it's kind of a tighter-knit athletic community with a lot of the sports having a lot of success recently.
Ben, we appreciate the time, man. Best of luck the rest of the way this season. Great having you on the program and giving the Anteaters program some much-deserved national attention. Way to go. Thanks for the time.